We have multiple New York Knicks updates in regards to two key players on the New York Knicks, including Jalen Brunson, and this has huge implications on the Knicks against the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. And on top of that, we also saw Josh Hart clown the Brooklyn Nets in a very funny way as some bonus news. So we have a lot to talk about. Strap in, guys. What's up? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. Guys, if you are part of that 72% that's not subscribed, you guys have been killing it like the Knicks, and just make sure to keep them coming. We're trying to get to 15,000 before the playoffs end. We're under 300 away. You guys have been so awesome lately, but let's jump into the video. We're here to talk about basketball, and we have a lot to go over. As we know, Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton were once teammates on Team USA, but they're also, and they're friends from that, but they're also very, very big rivals. Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers eliminated Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks in the second round of the playoffs last year, and now the two teams meet once again for a rematch in the Eastern Conference Finals. Nobody would have expected this going into the playoffs, but yet here we are. These two friends who are also very, very big rivals with each other and totally each believe that they're the better player. Brunson totally goes home and says, well, I'm better than Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton goes home and says, I'm better than Jalen Brunson. They might be friends, but they definitely believe in themselves more than they believe in each other. And as they should. They're both correct for this. Now, all that being said, Jalen Brunson he's not happy about the way the last playoffs ended. And on top of that, these two, as you see here, were Team USA teammates for FIBA basketball. Now, here's where things get a little bit interesting. Both these teammates were part of a team that did not win in FIBA, and the result was the United States saying, all right, well, now we have a point to prove. Let's go out there and make another redeem team in the Olympics. And one of these two made it. Which one? Tyrese Halliburton, the one who went to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics. Jalen Brunson was not happy about this, according to Joe Vardon, who was on Ian Begley's show, The Putback. As Vardon mentioned, Brunson was not happy about being snubbed for Tyrese Halliburton. He really didn't want to make last year's series about that. He tried to stay as far away from it as he could, but we know how that series went. You've got a case where there's a player he's being compared to, a player that was picked over him for the Olympics, and that same player got the better of him in the playoffs last year. First of all, no, he did not. The Pacers won. Tyrese Halliburton won. Jalen Brunson played better. There's a difference. That being said, you'd rather your team win than your best player play better than their best player at the end of the day. So yes, in a lot of ways, Brunson's not going to care about, oh, well, I played better than Halliburton. That's not a win to him. Brunson said after the season ended, he was like, what happened? We went to the second round? This is not a successful season. Jalen Brunson was open about that, and now he's got a chance to go to the NBA Finals, eliminating a rival who was picked over him for the Olympics. Something Brunson is not over, as that team, again, they lost, and Brunson felt like, oh, so they don't think I'm good enough because I didn't win with the FIBA team or whatever. That's BS. Because I hurt my hand. Whatever. You know what? I'm going to show them. And Brunson's upset about it. It's evidently clear he is. Vardon mentioned that Brunson is thinking about it, and I love that. Yes, JB, take that anger. Let it fuel you. Show the world why you're one of the best playoff performers. If they don't believe, if there are people still out there that don't believe, make the skeptics believe. Brunson right now is second in total points scored in the playoffs. The funny thing about that is there's a few players on this list who have played more games than Jalen Brunson still up to this point. Brunson has 346 points where things stand right now. And also, he's third in total assists with 92, just one behind Tyrese Halliburton, who's one of the best passers in basketball. So Brunson, people have to start respecting that passing game more. And on top of that, he's fifth in assists per game at 7.7, where Halliburton is at 9.3, but Halliburton's played less games, so it makes the difference, you know? So Jalen Brunson, as we know, is better than Tyrese Halliburton. You're not going to find people who are really arguing that at this point. Halliburton, is he a top 10 player in the NBA? If he makes the finals, he deserves to be at least in fringe conversations. He was the best player on the Pacers. And yes, the Pacers played injured teams all the time. It's what Tyrese Halliburton does. Not Tyrese Halliburton's fault. Not the Pacers' fault. They're not hurting people. This isn't the Bounty Gate Saints or anything. This is just a team that's had very good injury luck, and you can't blame the Pacers. They're playing who's in front of them. I don't understand that logic of discounting things because of injuries. And maybe it sounds like I'm saying that because Jason Tatum got injured and Porzingis was sick. But no, I've said this for years based off the fact of, look at every NBA Finals ever. Someone got injured along the way that the champions played, and it helped them out. What? I mean, the Celtics last year. Donovan Mitchell got hurt. Tyrese Halliburton got hurt. That's 2 guys down right there off the top of the head. Mavs were dealing with a banged up Luka when the Celtics played him. Do I think the Celtics would have beaten all those teams healthy? Absolutely. Does it change the fact that they didn't play them? Yeah. Should people care? No. I mean, we saw the Spurs up 20-something points. Was it 29 points against the Warriors? Kawhi gets hurt because Zaza Pachulia actually did play dirty. Warriors won that game and the series. Would that have happened if Kawhi stayed healthy? Honestly, I think the Warriors would have won that series. Did it still happen? Yeah. And the Brooklyn Nets dealt with a ton of injuries. Milwaukee Bucks get past a not healthy Brooklyn Nets team. They win the NBA Finals. Did the injuries help them? Absolutely. Those are 3 random occurrences, and we could do this for every single playoff series if we really wanted to. But I don't see the point in that. You could go look at that yourself and have some fun with it. But look, where things stand, Jalen Brunson should be upset. He should go out there with a vigor. Show your teeth, JB. And we know he's not afraid to do that. I say show your teeth as I literally bite my tongue, which is fun. But Jalen Brunson is 3rd in points per game, not regarding free throws. He's at 22.4. The guys ahead of him are Paolo Banchero and Giannis Antetokounmpo, both of whom only played in 5 games in the playoffs. Anthony Edwards is right below Brunson. Obviously, Edwards, who's literally right below Brunson, and so is Donovan Mitchell right below both those two. But Edwards also in the conference finals out in the West, so these two could obviously meet. It's the finals the world wants. We want Knicks Timberwolves. Everybody wants Knicks Timberwolves. It's the most fun option. We all know it. But that doesn't change the fact that it is what it is right now. Jalen Brunson has been nothing short of elite. In the last series against the Boston Celtics, we saw him average 26.2 points with 7.2 assists and 4 rebounds per game. It was not Brunson's best series, but it was a good one. He still shot 44% from the field. He still shot in the high 30s on the threes. He still showed that he's that dude. He showed that he could do it against an elite defense. The Pacers are not an elite defense. Jalen Brunson is in a position to have one of the greatest conference finals ever. He should walk to that Eastern Conference Finals MVP award as long as the Knicks can beat the Pacers, something I fully expect them to do. So Brunson should be the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Now we'll see how that all goes down because there is still time, and it's not just about Jalen Brunson. It's about this whole Knicks team. It's about using all your weapons. It's not just about Jalen Brunson and the Knicks coach him correctly. It also involves his teammates. Karl-Anthony Towns should be set up for a big series. OG Anunoby should be elite defensively on Siakam, as we've seen before. Mikal Bridges, the perfect guy to guard Tyrese Halliburton and also have a great series with a smaller defender on him. On top of that, Josh Hart is vital, and Josh Hart has stepped up to the plate once again in the playoffs. As we always say, playoff Brunson's obviously a real thing. So is playoff Josh Hart, because that man locks in and starts nailing his threes. Now, as we all know, no one wants to deal with the Brunson burner, because frankly, you don't want to deal with him. We think about Jalen Brunson when we think about the Knicks. We think about how we could get that Brunson burner going and going nuclear.
Someone cooked here.
So, really, more than anything, what we want to see is Jalen Brunson being that dude, but also Josh Hart being that guy. Josh Hart going out there doing the Josh Hart things. And there's an unsung bit about Josh Hart that nobody's talked about. That's the fact that he's shooting great. Josh Hart still looks a bit timid to shoot, but less so as he did in the regular season. And there's a reason for that, as Ian Begley mentioned. Josh Hart's shooting 41% from 3 on 34 field goals attempted in the playoffs. After shooting 33% in the regular season. Just like last year, Hart spent an extra time working on his shot between the end of the regular season and the start of the playoffs, and he does it with a shooting coach named Mark Rameljack. Now, Rameljack said he knows what he has to do, talking about Josh Hart. He's got a great concentration, and he knows that it's been worth it. The stuff we did was more rudimentary and more mentally, like, hey, let's clean this up. Let's clean up these moments. And the simpler and smoother he looks, the better he shoots. Biomechanically, the cleaner we can make you, the simpler we can make you, the better you'll shoot. And he's absolutely right. The last thing you want to do when you're shooting a basketball, and I know this, I'm not an NBA player. Frankly, I'm not a good shooter at all. I have a hideously ugly jump shot, and I am a brick when I shoot. I'm not I'm not that good of, I'm tall, but I'm not that good of a basketball player. And even I know, if you don't think about that shot, you're going to be way better off. The second you start thinking about those looks, and that's going to take longer if you're shooting in a weird way, you're going to think about it more. So you just have to continue to not think. Just shoot the ball and trust the work and trust that you know how to shoot a basketball. All things that Josh Hart excels at. We've seen him shoot 40% from 3 in seasons before. Josh knows how to shoot. He knows how to be a good shooter. It's just not a role he focuses on with this Knicks team. However, in the playoffs, he understands it, specifically against the Pacers, a team that's going to put Miles Turner on him and try to dare Josh to shoot. He's got to be willing to shoot the ball, and if he does, the New York Knicks will be in excellent position to succeed. And I absolutely love that. And I'm looking forward to seeing Josh Hart do that. I trust Josh Hart. I trust him a lot. He's been great for the Knicks in the playoffs. In the regular seasons, he's played 81 and 77 games since joining the Knicks and playing full seasons there. I did not count the half season that he played in. Probably should have for the sake of this, but the first time we ever heard about the Mark Rammeljack stuff was last season, which is why I brought it up now. Josh Hart combined for 32.2% from 3 over the last 2 seasons. His field goal percentage was good. His numbers overall were good. Why? Because he's Josh Hart. He's the best. On top of that, in the playoffs, 14 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. In that span, last year he shot 42% from 3. This year, he's shooting 37% from 3. That's a total of 39.2% from 3 in the playoffs. Josh Hart is a good playoff shooter, and we absolutely love that. And on top of that, what we also love is the fact that Josh Hart said New York's a 2-team city. It's the Yankees and the Knicks. Talk about how the Giants and the Jets exist, but they're not good. Really more the Giants. The Jets, he finds irrelevant. He's a Commanders fan, so he sees the Giants enough that he thinks about them. But he also said there's one team in each respected sport. And Jaylen said, well, technically there's 2 teams. And Josh said, what, the New Jersey Nets? I think they go... I was going to say something crazy, and Brunson said, don't say it. So Josh Hart doing what we love about Josh Hart off the court as well. Make sure to check out the Roommates podcast with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. And also, make sure to subscribe to this video, like it, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.